Hey everybody, my name is Matt and I'm back to give you more tips to help you enjoy the best of the West. Today we're going to talk about how to use the shuttle system at Zion National Park. This is a very common question that we get and something that seems to kind of stress people out over their visit to Zion. I want to assure you this is actually very easy and it's a really nice system. The city of Springdale and the National Park Zion really work together well. It's a well-run show, but let me tell you all about how to use it in this video. Before we get going, I just want to let you know that I've put a bunch of resources for this in the description of the video, so you can check that out when you get done watching. First thing to understand is there are two shuttle systems at Zion. The first one is the Springdale City shuttle system, which gets you from Springdale City to Zion National Park. Then there's the Zion shuttle system, which gets you from the Zion Visitor Center into Zion Canyon, which is where the most famous features of Zion National Park are. Now let's talk about the overview of Zion National Park. Zion is actually much larger than people realize. There are 4 roads that go through Zion National Park. There's the Zion Scenic Drive, there's the Zion Mount Carmel Highway, the Kolob Terrace Road, and Kolob Canyons Road. Yes, there's 2 roads with Kolob in the name. All of these are actually very scenic and really gorgeous. My travel guide gets you to all sections of the park and tells you what to see at all of them. But the most popular section by far is the Zion Canyon Scenic Drive, which is why they require a shuttle. So Zion Canyon really kind of starts in the city of Springdale, where the canyon is about a mile wide. And then as you continue to enter the park and move your way up the Zion Canyon Scenic Drive, the canyon continues to narrow and narrow until at one point it gets to be about 30 feet wide in the appropriately named Narrows section. Let's talk about parking next. So there is a small parking lot inside Zion National Park. When you pull into Springdale City, you will see some signs flashing telling you whether the parking lot in Zion National Park is full or not. The Zion National Park parking lot is free, but it does fill up quite early, somewhere around 7 or 7:30 on average, I believe. But things are always changing at Zion and the crowds come and go, so it's a little hard to say when it fills up. If the sign tells you that the Zion parking lot is full, then you need to park in the city of Springdale. Springdale has a lot of parking along the street, and then it also has some parking lots. Parking will run about $25 to $40 per day in Springdale. Now, some people have asked me, does the parking in Springdale fill up? I have never seen that. So in all the years I visited Zion, I've never once seen the parking in Springdale fill up, but I have had people tell me that it has filled up for them. So it's a little hard to answer that question, but I believe that if it does fill up, that it'll start clearing out around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And that's because most people hit Zion early in the morning because they want to go do some of these hikes before the heat of the day. So a lot of people will go in, they'll do the Narrows, and then they'll leave. So they're leaving by around 12, 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. So I do think it starts to clear up in the afternoon and you could get some parking pretty easily around that time. Okay, let's talk about the shuttle systems now, each of them. So the Springdale Shuttle system. This is a free shuttle system and it runs only during the busy season, which is like March to the end of October, something like that. It might go into November, I can't quite remember. There are 9 shuttle stops and that covers an area about 2.5 miles long. So that's the city of Springdale. It starts at the beginning of the city and then it ends right where the city butts up to Zion National Park. The shuttles come about every 10 to 15 minutes and they start running at 8 o'clock in the morning and they end at 6 o'clock. So that means you need to be back to the Zion Visitor Center by 6 o'clock p.m. in order to catch that last Springdale shuttle to get to your car. If you miss the shuttle, then you'll have to walk to your car, which again would be less than 2.5 miles. When you arrive in town, again, you can park on the street or in the parking lots and then just walk to the closest shuttle stop to you. They're very well marked. The shuttle will then take you to the park and it drops you off right next to the park entrance. They actually have a walk-in entrance at Zion National Park. So they also have a drive-in entrance like most national parks do, but then they have a walk-in entrance specifically for the majority of people who are entering via the Springdale Shuttle. Okay, now let's talk about the Zion shuttle system. So this is also free. So remember that both of them are free. That's the nice thing. And there are also 9 stops on the Zion shuttle system, but it covers a much larger area, whereas the Springdale shuttle's about 2.5 miles long. The Zion shuttle travels 8 miles long, and it goes from the Zion Visitor Center into Zion Canyon, and the last stop is the Temple of Sinawava, which is the starting point for the Riverside Walk, which then leads into the Narrows. Riverside Walk and the Narrows are two halves of the same hike. It takes about 45 minutes to get from the visitor center all the way down to the Temple of Sinawaba. There can be a long line for the Zion Shuttle, but it does move pretty quickly because during the busy season, the Zion Shuttles are coming every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So a lot of times you'll be waiting a big long line, and there'll actually be a line of shuttles just ready to pick you up one after another. When COVID first started, they experimented with a ticketing system for the Zion Shuttle. Currently, that is not in place, but you do want to check the park website just to see if they have any changes in the future, because this park is going through a lot of changes. As I mentioned, the crowds are really exploding at Zion, even more than any of the other national parks. I think Zion is probably growing the most in terms of visitors. While you're riding the shuttle through the canyon, there will be a Zion narration that'll tell you about the park. And you can actually listen to that narration on their website even before you go if you would like. I'll put a link in the description for that. Sometimes the shuttle stops are closed. Like I think currently the Zion Museum is closed because of COVID. And then the Weeping Rock stop, which is one of our favorites, is unfortunately closed for a long time because there was a rock slide there that happened. When you board the Zion Shuttle, pay attention to the sign at the front of the shuttle. They'll have a little sign on the window there that says when the last Zion Shuttle is leaving the canyon. So if you don't make it on the last Zion Shuttle, then you'll be walking out of the canyon, which could be an 8-mile walk depending on where you are. So you want to make sure that you don't miss the last Zion Shuttle. Okay, our next topic is, do you have to use the shuttle to see Zion Canyon? The answer to that is actually no. So you could walk into the canyon if you want. From the Zion Visitor Center to get to the canyon is about 2 miles, and then the canyon is about 6 miles. So it'd be a lot of walking, but you can walk into the canyon if you want to. There is not a sidewalk though next to the road, so you'll just kind of be walking on the shoulder of the road while the shuttles drive by you. Now you can also bike into the canyon if you want to. So this was quite popular during the ticketed period of the Zion shuttles. People were renting bikes in the town of Springdale and riding them into the canyon. The e-bikes became quite popular, and actually a lot of people really recommend it and really enjoyed it. It was a great way to see the canyon, I'm sure. And e-bikes are a lot easier to ride around than regular bikes. The bike rentals are about $100 a day though. So it's a pretty cool way to see the canyon. But one thing I want to make sure you're aware of here is that there is a very small shoulder on that Zion Canyon road. And as you're riding the bikes on that road, you do not have the right of way. The shuttle has the right of way. So if you see the shuttle, you have to kind of be looking back behind you, or if you hear the shuttle or see the shuttle, you have to pull off to the side of the road and let the shuttle drive by. You do not have the right of way, so that's really important to understand. Like I said, it's a small shoulder, and it might be a little dangerous, but I've never heard of anybody actually getting injured by riding a bike into the canyon, but something to keep in mind. Okay, when the shuttle is running, you cannot drive into the canyon, but there are 2 exceptions to that rule. So the first is if you're staying at Zion Lodge. Zion Lodge is in the middle of the canyon and is the only lodging within Zion National Park. If you're staying at the lodge, you can drive to the lodge so that you can park and stay there, but you cannot drive any farther than the lodge. And the lodge is shuttle stop number 5. So if you're gonna go any farther, you're gonna have to walk or catch the shuttle to go deeper into the canyon. But you can park at the lodge and stay there. The other exception is if you're gonna do a horse ride in Zion Canyon. There's one company called Canyon Trail Rides that is authorized to do horseback rides in Zion Canyon. If you're doing a ride with them, you can drive to the spot to catch the ride. So they have a little parking lot there. But when you're done with the ride, you have to leave the canyon. You cannot just stay parked there all day long and start catching the shuttle around. Finally, a lot of people ask about the Narrows gear and the shuttles, like how to deal with your Narrows gear and catch the shuttles to do your Narrows hike, and do you have to return the gear right when you're done with your hike and things like that. We've done another video on the Narrows. Click the video image on your screen to watch that video next. Thank you for watching, and until next time, go west, young traveler.